Okay, and I think it is recorded. Okay,
It says it's recorded.
so,
So what's our first item on the agenda? I did not.
well, do you
I
guys,
can't
did
remember what the
we,
agenda
did we
was.
second the agenda?
We didn't have a second. but
Okay, all right, first one is vendor decisions with that LPR and the update on digital watchdog. So moving down to this. Let's talk about LPR first, because we've had a lot of comments on LPR being a burden
Which is
on
the license plate. agreement.
license plate recognition and opening the gates. I love the idea, moves faster. And we know we have records of every license plate / vehicle. Is it a burden? Potentially, to make sure that you have your license plate in the office database. But I think we could probably battle that and make that easy. I think we should, if we do it, start testing with guest access only. Just as a test concept. It's not that expensive. You know, we found some LPRs, $700, $800. Is that right?
Yes.
That would work with our gate arm. We think we can install it ourselves. It would replace the digital watchdog camera that's broken. And no harm, no foul with a $700-800 test is what I think. The other option is digital watchdog supplying the LPR gate arm controller. And that's been quoted at right now from automatic gate and door, $3,500, and that's installed. So that's a little bit more of a, I don't know, I don't think that's necessarily a test price. I think that's a commitment price.
Exactly what does digital watchdog do?
Digital watchdog is our current surveillance system.
So that's adds all the cameras together.
Correct.
It gets it on one screen and you can.
Correct, and then,
Fast forward
and then
through.
you can look up date ranges, car types, all of that already on
Oh,
digital
okay.
watchdog. No?
This is the digital watchdog, all cameras throughout Raintree or just the gates?
Gates and 3 others, from what I understand.
So it
Beach
doesn't do
and
anything about the boat ramp or
The boat ramp, the beach, and the gates.
So would the LPR operate the same?
The LPR would really be only at the gates for really gate access and the gate arm control.
Can the LPR cameras tie into the watchdog system then?
Only the digital watchdog camera.
Oh, yeah, the watchdog.
Right.
doesn't work.
That's the only one that feeds in. Otherwise, we'd have two systems. You know, one for,
So you can't plug this any camera into their facility.
Mhm. And I think that's probably why it's 3,500. It's the nature of the beast when it's proprietary hardware. So, you know, my thought, I would like to, if we can find stock in it's the Amcrest LPR here, and we found it on Amazon about 5 months ago and it was available. Now it's not available. And I would still like to just test the concept with Amcrest. If it works reliably, then consider, you know, is having 2 disparate systems, one just doing the gate access, one still doing surveillance. Is that too much or is that perfect? It's also some redundancy.
Surveillance is also this.
It would do both if it's digital watchdog. This camera, which is the $700-800 camera, would just open the gate.
I don't think we need to lose the surveillance, particularly at the boat launch or the beach.
No, and I don't think and if we wouldn't, we would just have one system to open the gate, an extra camera to open the gate, and keep our existing digital watchdog for surveillance. So I think the whole reason behind LPR and gate access was to solve, the board wanted to solve, we need to know what cars are coming in, who owns the car. You know, they can hand the gate card off to anyone and we really don't know. And I would agree with that.
Mhm.
Does the digital watchdog system offer any advantages that this doesn't?
Without testing, I really can't tell you. except tying into our existing system. One camera does both.
It already has 6 cameras per gate, right?
Mhm. You know,
Wait, who has 6 cameras per gate?
Digital watchdog.
So you're gonna have 6 of those on one day, is that?
We already have it.
we do. We've got the surveillance cameras kind of going from behind, in front. Yeah,
Oh, so you got 6 cameras total, not 6 cameras on one gate.
Per gate.
6 cameras on per
We got
gate.
3 gates. So we got 18 cameras plus,
Right now.
plus
per
the
minute,
3.
plus the 3 at the beach and the boat ramp.
Yeah.
So I'm a little confused.
Mhm.
So you said we already have 6 in this current system, but yet I see a price. And so this is a software, but we have the hardware?
No, this would, the price would be just, because these cameras that we have, let's say the 6 per gate, they don't open the gate. They just do
We have
surveillance.
The cameras.
Uh-huh,
Now we want to buy, install, rent, whatever you do with this,
right.
make it work the way we want it to
We
work.
want to open the gate with a license plate. Correct. You got it.
So you would have to buy, I don't know how many of these on each gate.
3, just to open.
One per gate.
One per gate.
One per gate.
Yeah,
And then we could keep the other 5 that we have.
well, we keep the other 6.
Okay, keep all of the other 6, okay.
Would
And
that
then
work
that's-
too? They would work too?
They would do exactly what they're doing today. No change.
But they wouldn't open the
They
gate.
just wouldn't open the gate. This would be the gate opener. This would just replace
The key card.
really the key card or,
And of course,
Other
then if
options.
we do go down this road, well, then we're gonna have people come up there and register their cars with their license plates and everything like that, which is a good thing.
it is a good thing. It's the hassle factor that I think that we get pushback from.
Hire for somebody to register their license plate into the LPR system, you know.
Yeah, that's.
Gotta be in good standing.
Correct.
You gotta pay
Assessments
your-
paid.
all your assessments and stuff.
And you have to prove ownership of the car.
Right, just like
Insurance,
that, just like
ownership of
everything else.
cars.
But you said before, Jim, I think you have to let friends and neighbors and.
Right, that was my idea for testing is that, the guest access is the backup. They go to the guest kiosk, they type in the code. Someone doesn't answer, I'm in the water and I don't answer my phone and here comes the backup. If we could pre-register, some license plate numbers for guests, they could get right through. And it can be limited for a day or whatever. No, you don't. And that would be the idea behind guest access versus owner. Because it would be limited access. You'd set it for a day.
That would be your idea, no car,
Well,
no holiday codes or party codes.
if this were to work reliably, I would replace the holiday codes and the guests.
No, I'm concerned, what I'm concerned about, Glenn, is that that gate would be really busy. Because, I mean, I can go on the side there,
Mhm.
but, people have their guests over and they would all have to use that.
Oh, yeah, and we would until it was tested and vetted as a reliable system, and once it was, and we put it at all 3 gates, then we can remove the passcodes.
And you do it right up.
And
Just drive up,
Well-
open it up, if you're a registered guest, and we know your license plate, drive through.
another question.
Go ahead.
I'm just like to understand, I understood everything up to that point, so we own the house and we have 2 children.
Mhm.
And they don't come out all the time, but they come out, with some frequency. So would it be that the lot owner, this is what my thought is that we would register our vehicles and we would register at least 1 vehicle for my son, 1 vehicle for my daughter. But I would think that you would put a stipulation in there that the lot owner had to be in good standing and be the person that would register that vehicle.
Totally agree.
Okay, I didn't-
Totally
I
agree.
just wanted to make sure that. there's-
Right, and then we would have to come up with how many you can register. Because I have 4 children with four spouses.
I think we talked about it the last.
yeah, there's just-
I think that everybody got.
X.
Just hypothetically.
Yeah, yeah.
And after that, if you want more, okay, fine, but it's gonna cost.
Right, and that can be a good thing too for some revenue.
I think at the present time, every lot owner is up to 10 cards, is that correct? Yeah, But you have to, but you can
Two,
buy.
well,
up
plus
to 10.
10, yep.
So my thing is basically just my personal thing, back up at the gate. Instead of my guests backing up at the gate, I hop in my golf cart, I tell them, you know, hey, let me know when you're on the highway. Run up to the gate and I
And you wouldn't be able
swipe
to
them,
do that.
swipe them in. Yeah. So the gate cards are gonna go away completely.
Well, we have, exactly, ultimate. I'm kind of in favor of keeping two per property owner for a long time.
How do the golf carts? Well, what about the
Oh,
golf cart?
We've,
Have a way for a golf cart to
mhm.
be able to.
So they have a sticker and the numbers are 2.5 inches tall. And Missouri license plate are 3 inches tall. So I think it's within the capabilities.
It's kind of in our testing phase.
Well, motorcycles, anything that doesn't have a license plate in front,
Right,
we'll have to
which
fix.
does Missouri require a license plate in the front?
they say if you're issued 2 tags, you're supposed to have.
You get one tag, goes on the front.
Okay, what about guests that have vehicles that are registered in different states
That would be okay too.
that don't require? a front?
Oh, that don't.
yeah.
So I'm gonna throw out, and please forgive me if I'm correct, but I believe if Woolridge has a vehicle that's registered in the state of Florida, because he's a part-time resident in Florida. And I don't know if Florida requires a front license plate or not. Let's say they don't for this scenario.
Keep that going.
You can always.
Yeah. He's got to drive backwards.
But you know.
Funny. There's still the phones on that back. You
Yeah, the sort of,
That is,
Yeah, and that's
can
kind of,
always phone yourself.
yeah.
right. We
And let
we thought that
yourself be-
would stay, but we're trying to kind of keep some faster throughput at that gate. But I mean, we haven't vetted it out in terms of, you know, how simple it's gonna be to add a license plate for a guest. You know, if you've got a guest coming in tomorrow, do you even spend the time for that, or you make them go through the guest kiosk?
yeah, it's hard to work if it's 5 or 10 hours.
Right, probably not. It's probably better for, you know, the friends and family throughout the summer.
The local.
If we proceed with this, how would we handle, like, every few years, the state issues brand new license plates with a new plate number? Would you have to come up to the office each time you get a new plate?
But each year you have to register and pay your assessments and everything and get your sticker.
So
It
you
would be
can
just like
verify-
that car
just be
sticker.
Verify that.
You know, part of the reasoning is also, I wish I knew the numbers, but you know, if you've got 3,000 cars in Raintree, yeah, they've only sold 1,000 car stickers in the past. So we know that people aren't doing that. And residents want to see that sticker for, you know, longtime visitors and of course residents.
So let me see if I've got, okay, so we know that eventually there could be a whole lot of license plates in this system.
Mhm.
And they wouldn't just be property owners, they'd be friends and relatives and whoever. And so what is our advantage here? You're saying that if that person does something that's illegal or whatever, and somebody catches that plate, now we know who they are. Is that it?
We know the car. They
We've
can't,
got the plate, so
Right.
we can run the plate in our.
And then find out who
and we,
okayed that plate, you know, because
Correct.
my brother-in-law, sister-in-laws, they would be under my name. And I would be responsible for my guests,
For what they did.
for anything that they did.
yeah, I'm not completely sold on it. I'm not.
Well, it still doesn't, I mean, we don't have cameras catching people doing things like knocking over mailboxes.
I know. Would we be better off doing something?
So Len, you like the RF reader better.
Well,
I mean, they
I
have a
like-
lot of issues. So here's my thing.
go through,
Is there-
go through this list real quick. These are some negatives, you know, okay.
Okay,
You know, purchase of a replacement vehicle, you know, we know that the plate's transferred and you gotta do it again. And you'd have to go re-register that's a pain. Rental cars, how do you handle that? Fleet cars. Some residents do have fleet cars and they're driving a different one every day. You have to register all of them, probably, they have to. And then I wish Dan were here, but Dan talks about, LPR and latency across this wireless system that we have between the gates and the POA. That could be,
But there is no latency, but the cameras that we were looking
the
at.
cameras that we look at hold the data on the camera. So we
That's right.
love that camera.
Right.
Right, that's nothing.
Right.
That would be good. That would be good. But golf carts, we don't have answers.
Motorcycle.
And we really don't know bad weather, snow, we have to test it. So I think if we want to investigate this, we have to test the technology.
Now, there's a separate keypad by the gate. I mean, there's the one that look at, but what about delivery systems like UPS and DHL and
They have their own.
they have their own code to get in?
They got them, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no,
And Amazon has their own,
emergency services.
Amazon has their own method that's used in back gate.
So,
Although I saw one guy trying to go through the directory and find some guy's name, and it was an Amazon truck.
Could be a new person.
Right.
He'll learn.
so
But the digital watchdog that doesn't have as much storage for the license plates,
Oh, yeah.
that could be, that would potentially have some latency in that.
So-
That
Not being
defeats the
a,
purpose.
not being a tech guy,
Uh-huh.
is there a system out there, because you were talking about the RF readers
Right,
and the license plate readers?
we're talking about RFID.
Is there a system that can handle both?
Well, RFID, a digital watchdog does. And RFID would be more of a sticker system.
So we could have stickers and a license plate reader.
And I don't think we would need the license plate reader with RFID. RFID, you register your car, you get your sticker for the car.
Yes, but then then you buy stickers for,
Then,
up to 10 stickers for your family.
correct, correct.
And you can use RFID on
On
a
the golf cart.
motorcycle.
And a motorcycle.
Yes,
Any other vehicle that doesn't have a front license.
And it works in snow, and a license plate reader may not.
but you like the license plate reader rather than the sticker.
Well, the only reason that they thought that when they were looking, I guess, a year ago at RFID, they were concerned that the RFID reader reads the person in the back too. Behind the car. If you
It's a
don't.
long
wait,
range.
It's long range, so now I'm
You
sitting.
can't sharpen that window like you
Yes,
do
we
on a
don't know.
ring camera.
You
or
would
something
sure
like that.
think that with the technology that you could. Now, the other thought is license plate reading. It's really free to us. We don't have anything to buy cameras and stuff.
That's
The RFID tags have a cost to every single one,
$10.
right?
Yeah.
So now you have to sell those.
But then we were gonna be selling them, so I mean, the upfront cost would be to buy them, things of them, and then sell them.
But this
And,
is
and
why
we
we're
would be selling
discussing
them
it.
eventually.
So
That's $20,000-$30,000
yeah.
in RFID tags.
that we have to be able to sell,
Buy.
That you.
hopefully for $2 profit per each.
Yes.
for each.
Correct.
Years ago, we went to a gated community in Florida that had all kinds of security.
Mhm.
Their security entrance was based on basically barcode that owners had taped to their window. So they just drove up and it scanned that code and opened. And if you had guests, you could email them temporary code that you showed to, we had to go to stop, still had to stop and do all kinds of stuff with the guard. But, we could print out that barcode and supposedly that would work. That's it.
Interesting. I mean, I think we should look at everything under the sun.
No radios, yeah.
What was the app that we looked at that was? You can register your own guests on an app.
Oh,
They
what
come,
was
they
that?
come in, they punch their code in at the gate, it opens and you're done. And it can be limited, but it seemed like a pretty, robust solution too. I think the downside on that is that not all RT residents are very, would love an app on their phone to get in.
You mean, you don't think that they would all? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they're just, maybe not. I know a few that have flip phones and that wouldn't work on a flip phone.
But then you still have the guest.
Mhm,
You know,
mhm.
guest
Yeah.
access.
And then the whole entire argument is, do we want to replace the whole reason for this discussion is replacing the key cards? Because they just don't tie to an individual coming in the community.
Card. And because there is vandalism happening all the time. In worst case scenario, if nobody has a key card and somebody vandalizes the camera that's gonna read license plates, how quickly can you get that fixed so people can get in?
It's a good, that's a really good point too. Really good point. The RFID reader would be higher, that long range RFID reader be tougher. I mean, cameras are probably more of a target for vandalism. I think this is a good discussion. I mean, just don't think it's a given that we want to do this,
Either or.
either or.
So what is the core reason why we're looking into?
It's what I've been asking every board meeting. Really. The problem is key cards have been lost over the last 20 years.
Is it knowing?
We have no idea where these cards are.
Knowing who is entering Braintree.
Right.
So,
Because we already have that capability with the key cards. I mean, we know that it belongs to a certain,
Correct.
we know who it is. I mean, why can't we say to all the owners, okay, we really have some issues with these key cards, they're out all over, people don't even know who's got their key card. So everybody has to bring in their key cards and bring them up to the office and they're gonna check, re-register, make sure you have them. We're not charging you for them. If you can't find it, we're getting rid of that key card.
yeah, I've had
making that
to
card
do
bigger.
that. I've had to be like, okay, my brother lost his and he lives up in Wisconsin and you know, we had to get him a new one, but then we took all the ones that we physically had up to the office and said, cancel anything that doesn't fit, that is not one of these 5. And they did without any trouble, saying, this is a lost card, we're gonna cancel it.
Yeah.
No, that really isn't such a bad idea, and I wasn't aware that there were so many missing. We haven't been here that long, but you could say, just as an idea, you could say, on October 1st, which is months away, if you haven't re-registered your key card, that gives all the people who travel and have different properties in other states and everything, it gives you months to re-register your key card, and everything that hasn't been re-registered just dies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if people 6 months, then that's fair.
You may have to set up an emergency hotline for the people who couldn't do it, wouldn't do whatever, and they show up one night and need to be get in.
Well, I always
Well,
think-
no, 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 this is
Unusual.
what, this is always the thing, you know, like if you don't come up and re-register your card within 6 months, it's pretty much, you can do the same thing as you're not in good standings. In other words, you take their card out of the system, they can still get in here through their key, through the back gate, you know, on thing. That was always the thing. They said, well, we can't take these cards away from these people because we can't deny property owners the right to come to their property. So as long as we still allow them a way to get in, which would be through the back gate, going in through the kiosk and everything and ringing themselves, of course, then they have to register their phone number and all that stuff. They have to do something. They have to be a little proactive on this thing. And if they're not, well,
6 months.
I don't know.
No, that should be plain. I agree. If you haven't found the key card in 6 months, it falls off.
and we have to give an opportunity or a way or a means for lot owners to do the same thing without having to drive here to Braintree to do it,
To exchange, to re-register
to re-register.
remote.
You have to have it.
They could take a picture of the
Remote
key card,
registration
send it
or
Can you
something.
take the numbers off your key card and submit that to the office and say, here are the current numbers I've got. You can email it to the
Do
office.
the key cards have numbers?
Yes.
Yeah. So I really kind of like this idea because why fix something that's really not broken?
Right.
Real reason why.
And that's what I've been asking.
If you go and you talk to Desiree from Rural, she might have a different take on why we're wanting to know people's license plates.
They want that auto info
Well, the
to know what car came in.
nitty gritty is that, you know, buying these extra cameras and so forth, isn't gonna stop vandalism.
It's not.
It's mostly internal.
It is.
That's right.
Maybe we should put our money more towards the cameras.
Agreed, but then the argument there is that, you know, the board is not the police. You know, we should have everyone with Ring cameras. And if there's
It does help if everybody has.
if everyone has a Ring or yeah. Oh, yeah, and I think there should be
The
more
beach, the
there.
beach and the boat ramp have.
Yeah, but I do think that,
Especially the parks, the different parks that we.
There's certain intersections that handle most of the traffic. If you have.
put it there.
Right down here at West Vista, Gettysburg, Lincoln, it handles about 25% of the traffic that goes through here. If you have cameras down there, what, you know, picking up on that.
Plus, I think cameras strategically placed like you're talking about is more of a deterrent.
And I guess I was always interested in making sure everybody has a sticker on their car so that I know if you belong in Raintree or not, or I guess.
But you could
With
still
compass.
do that.
Yes.
So each year, your card is invalidated until you come up here and pay your assessments and get a sticker and put it on.
Just, I mean, you have to get new golf cart stickers every year. We have to get boat stickers every year.
Yeah.
It could just be part of that process.
Right, with some grace period, because you can't stop people from getting in with at least their 2 gate cards. Even when you're not in good standing and you haven't paid your assessments, they don't take away your 2.
That's right.
They take away your extra 10.
I'm not so sure that it's equitable, so. We have another, we have another home we just bought this one, we don't know that we'll be here permanently or not. But we have multiple vehicles, and it just depends on
Yeah, who's got
which one we come in, and usually it's almost always the same one. And we do have a sticker for the golf cart, so if you do happen to go to the beach, we can park there, you know, legally, so to speak. But, I don't know that I want to really, even if it's $10, I don't know that I really want to buy a sticker for each one of the vehicles, just as long as I've got the card when I come in, and they know that it's me that's coming in.
So that's my,
I know your car's coming in.
but that's my ask.
It is,
They know who's responsible is the key. Right,
and you're taking a picture of my license plate when I'm coming in.
we already do that, right, with the surveillance cameras.
I
Yeah,
mean, a sticker if you need to.
I would,
Park at the boat ramp or park wherever, I understand
Well,
that.
see, I like to have a sticker on all the cars,
but there's,
all of them.
I would love to have that too.
I would too, but not guests will never have them.
Right. And that way I know, the reason he's being foolish, he's a guest, so I'm kind of a little slack, right?
You actually see that sticker as the car's driving down the street. You are able to go that.
No, it's true. I mean, who monitors it? And
No, just if you're saying.
I'm just-
To see it, and I'm trying to ask you, how often do you look at a car and go, ooh, they have a sticker, ooh, they don't? They do, ooh, they don't?
Depends what they're doing.
Okay, so
True.
they're at the beach doing something, they're at the park doing something.
Well, I'm just saying, I'll cut residents a little bit more slack than guests or somebody that's in here is not supposed to be in here.
But where are you spotting these people doing this thing that you aren't happy that they're doing?
hypothetical?
Hypothetical.
Okay,
I'm just asking,
Uh,
because.
no, I think,
Cars that drive down our street all the time, zoom, I have no clue whether they have a sticker or not, and I have no clue if it's a guest of hers that's coming in,
hmm,
you know, or anybody's. I'm just like, look at people looking at it, how is it that they're
I
sticker?
will say longer term residents that used to, when they used to have to get the stickers, use that term loosely.
Right.
But they're the ones that are looking for that sticker. They're the ones that are looking for that comfort in seeing a range.
As you're seeing a car go down the street.
Well, no, well, so if you go to the boat ramp,
Yeah, well, it's
That's-
parked, right?
right,
Which is now what the parking allows.
well, the covenants supposedly say that everybody needs a sticker on their car so that we can identify the cars and ring.
Right. When they're not parked, when they're parked on POA property.
The idea that the sticker is only for the beach, I think was a wrong notion.
And the reason, if you don't mind, the reason why all that came up, because I was in every one of those 5 meetings where we talked about it. I specifically asked, where do you need that sticker? Anytime you're parking on POA property. Okay, where is that?
I think it's supposed to be anytime you're in Braintree.
Well, that's what they originally told us when we got here.
Yeah, well,
No, it's
and
not.
that's how it's written in the covenants.
Right.
But there's no way
Well,
to
now-
look at it.
There's no way to.
And that led us to the license plate reader, that forces you to register your car and get a sticker.
Right, that is enforceable.
That's right, that is enforceable.
Don't have to put the sticker on.
Yep.
And the same thing could happen with the RFID stickers. People could just take them in their windshield or keep them in their wallet, and just get it out. when
They could.
Hand them out to friends. There's no guarantee when they give them the sticker that it goes on the car or the right.
Even your barcode example, Florida thing, where it said that could be emailed, that's just like writing the code.
Yeah.
Bathroom.
But it has to have a limited time. Limited
I think-
access.
I think my argument to the board would be, if the gate card is tied to an owner and they're responsible, we just need to enforce that.
Yeah.
Just to, really enforce the responsibility and potential censures if
Yeah.
someone came in. Because we know who comes in, we have the surveillance.
So can I add to that? You said before, the board is not, they're not the police. Have we thought about establishing a rules enforcement, not a committee, a
Does that exist?
rules enforcement,
Neighborhood watch.
not just neighborhood watch, just strictly to enforce the rules.
As a
that we
resident,
have.
they have to wear masks over their heads.
True.
The range tree.
No, but I,
Range tree can stop them.
well, yeah, and we used to have both
Aside from.
police or whatever.
People
boat
wanting
patrol.
to hire security
Right.
to enforce our rules.
The mechanism is censoring. But you gotta identify. them.
Yeah.
Right, I'm saying, have we thought about just forming a team? I don't want to call it a committee because there really wouldn't be anything to discuss. It's just a code enforcement officer or rules enforcement officers. Maybe that, I don't know what other communities may have security that would do that.
What would be
Right
their
now,
function?
I'm sorry?
What would be their function?
To police Braintree and spot violations of our covenants and our rules.
We had somebody, we had a group of people that tried that in our other home, our homeowner association. And it created division and hate.
I kind of see that too.
Gonna have to put a hood over your.
No, that's why I don't love it.
I'm telling you that just from the outside looking in, it was horrific, and it got to the point where those people were called the neighborhood Nazis.
Yeah, right.
And they have got to this.
I don't want my neighbor to have that job.
How much would it cost to hire an outside company to do that so that
But they,
that negativity is?
I think they've said that that's just cost prohibitive. That's why we don't have a guard.
Yeah.
And the one thing that stops the wrong people coming in is a live guard.
Right.
That was good. I agree.
Well, they have different things that are against the rules. And I see it every day. But I look at it and I'm like, oh, that's not bothering, that's my neighbor. But it's not bothering. Now, if they park something on their grass,
Mhm.
the front lawn, yeah, that's against the rules and I would report it.
Yeah, report it. Neighborhood watch is a better idea, but not a single group of people that become the neighborhood Nazis. That's not fair to them.
Even neighborhood watch wanted to be all the time.
Yeah, true. the regulars.
What
Mhm.
idea that was presented at a board meeting about the sheriff or whatever they're called, coming through randomly.
I see them every now and
Substation.
then.
No, like, somebody suggested, who was it?
Yeah, when they talked about using the guard shack as a substation and they said that that's not realistic
It was a
anymore.
board meeting, would we feel okay with that? And then one of the comments was, well, if they're gonna park themselves outside the country club and catch me while I'm driving. Do you remember that conversation?
Yes, I do.
Generally, yeah.
What of that person coming in, the sheriff or?
Yeah, just making more rounds,
Yes.
additional rounds. I thought it was gonna start.
I think I've seen them a couple. I don't know.
But-
I'll
what
confirm.
business they were here, but yeah.
And I-
Yeah.
Oh, there is.
So it could just be going on.
All right, so
Well,
I-
so what are we thinking about the license plate
I
reader?
think I'm going to shelve it completely
I
for
mean,
now. I just don't think it's worth the money either. I'd rather put, if I'm gonna talk money spent, I think additional cameras would be better.
You know, look
Better
at the problem
deterrent.
We're having, basically, we're having a problem.
Right, better, you know,
It's not, we know when it's gonna be.
And it's usually internal.
Well, it's a normal, and
now, the one
you're
thing,
not going to be able to stop that.
no,
Yeah,
and we've been
at the
told by
gate.
the, you know, the Jeffco sheriffs that if we get a, you know, license or a mailbox smasher on video, we're really not that
We've done it.
interested in
Yeah.
in
They don't wanna do it.
apprehending.
Right.
It's just not on the top of their list.
People.
But- but it-
Nothing, the next step.
Right, but it's still a deterrent, you know, that we're watching, you're being surveyed here. Being surveyed at the gate is one thing, but being surveyed in a few extra places is just not a bad idea.
And that concept was the deterrent aspect of it, right? Install things as a deterrent.
That's my, yeah.
Yeah.
Put signs up too.
And, well,
Yeah, we're gonna keep moving.
So
But this has been like the every discussion on LPR or RFID, we go down a road and then it's like, you know what? It's the gate cards work.
If you want to dump that idea, just dump it.
I'm gonna dump it.
What are we knocking ourselves up?
I'm dumping it.
yeah,
I'm
the
done.
gate cards, work.
Mhm. We just have to be more diligent about,
It does work. And it's not preventing, this is not preventing anything that happens in here at 2 o'clock in the morning because the kids are already.
yeah,
in.
that's the gate's not backed up at 2 AM.
Yeah, and
So,
If they're bringing them, if it's their friend, they're letting them in. They're-
You do that with a phone call, right?
yeah,
But we know who's being let in. We know if there's 30 people getting let in on the code.
yeah.
You
Mhm.
can't just say, well, you came in, it's like, I didn't do it.
Right.
Okay, so we're gonna just.
I'm gonna suggest shelving
Just the way it is.
RFID and
and just
LPR.
move on and.
but I will suggest that we
What,
really will suggest that we monitor the gate cards, that we do a purge of the missing gate cards, a real purge.
let's make it easier. Recommendation,
That's,
validate and.
yeah, I agree.
I think that's an excellent idea
Mhm.
and, yeah, you agree? Yeah.
I agree.
I think that's an excellent idea. Let's go ahead and purge all the cards out of the system on October 1st.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying,
Validate.
well, anybody who doesn't have one.
Well, I'll give it just real quick example. We found a lockbox on that little fence in between the front gate. There's a little lockbox. It was there for someone to grab a gate card and let themselves in and all their friends. And it turned out that it was a missing card. So when the office said, you know, do you know you just let in 40 people today? Okay, this lock, and they're like, I didn't know that was a lost card. So yeah, we had that little lockbox chopped off.
Yeah.
And that card is purged.
Is that purged?
It's purged.
Hot dog, boy, you're doing a great job there, Glenn.
Sure.
I'm telling.
We need to consider what the process is going to be to revalidate or authenticate all of these. So before the board votes to do this,
Mhm.
please put some thought behind how is that actually going to look?
Let's talk about.
See, and get Rever involved in the process, just like we are now submitting our
Right.
golf and golf cart sticker registrations. Doing something that is gonna utilize this new technology, get the office staff's thoughts on, oh my God, now we gotta re-register all of these, what is, what
Yeah,
is it?
I agree. We'll do that. We'll do that. We'll do that. The, if I have 10 cards and I can now only find 4. Do I get the ability to buy 6 more once they're purged?
I think so.
I do too. Yes. Yeah, we
if you
lost them. We
bring
lost
four-
them.
Bring the 4 in that you have
Yes.
and purge the other 6.
Yep. And then if I want 6 others, buy 6 more.
Now,
I think that,
Okay.
yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay.
Because
bring them in. What about, is it sufficient or just to provide the card numbers?
Yeah.
Because I got people out of state that's got some.
I think this might be an idea for Rever, and you take a picture of it and you upload it. and-
Sure, I have the card number and submit that.
Yeah.
Shows that you have.
You
Uh-huh.
sure?
And you gotta put today's newspaper in the background.
Yeah. That's the deal right there. Yeah, no.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
You know,
All right. So talk about money well spent. We're moving on.
doing these.
Exactly. So I'm a big fan of spending a little bit of money on the LiftMaster towers. And I recommend 2 towers. The ones at the front gate and the back gate, the busiest towers on the entrance. They are falling apart. We can still use the parts in there as spares, but let's spend the money and get
And get 2 towers
2 towers.
and then keep the other 2
For
for parts
parts.
repaired.
And one of the reasons is, a certain retirement of a person that's very capable of dealing with that, and that's gonna be a little scary
Yeah,
without him.
that is gonna be scary.
Mhm. Yeah,
Very
I
scary.
mean, if it breaks and it takes us, 5 weeks to fix it, that's bad.
People don't realize.
I know.
Okay.
So you need a motion for 2 towers?
Well, he's gonna have to
Suggest-
I'll make a motion that you ask the board to allow you to buy 2 towers. Yeah.
I'll second that.
Okay,
Yeah,
and
and-
now I want 2 towers with LED lights on the arm.
Well, I'm all on the lady.
Good,
lights,
because
okay.
everyone's pontoon boat has LEDs now.
Okay, but no,
And I have to tell you, they're cheaper than the foam gates. We can put foam underneath that stops damage to the car, but the top has LEDs and it looks like this.
oh.
So now we look like a community. Instead of this raggedy foam thing, it's red if you can't go in.
Oh, now.
It blinks, as it's doing something. And then,
You hand me a hello.
and then wait until it gets up and it turns green. Let's go.
Oh my God.
Okay.
All right.
But it costs it's less than the foam replacement. It costs about $600 for the whole pole with LED. Yeah.
So-
Plus you can't
Knock off how bad.
Yeah, well, Glenn, you know,
modular.
So like if I.
I'm sorry, with this,
It's modular. If the LEDs fall off, it's all replaceable. Even the foam underneath's replaceable. The new poles come in 6-foot segments instead of 1 12-foot segment. So if the front breaks, you can just replace half of it. It's pretty cool.
but
deal.
when they get knocked down, and they will, right now,
Mhm.
it takes 2 bolts and a couple of
Same,
little washer things on there,
Same mechanism. It works with LiftMaster.
Okay, so it still works with the LiftMaster. How do the lights connect to the?
All they need power, and it's based on a magnet and position.
Oh.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
I know, but I really do like being able to see the noodle at night. So when you get near it, it does lighten up the gate area. That's a good thing for the cameras.
So it glows red all the time then, except for,
So I
Well,
motion,
it's-
I motion we suggest LEDs.
I'll second that.
Thank you.
No,
We'll suggest.
motion carried.
All right. Would you like a remote control for the colors?
Only if you do.
Yeah, you gotta change around by.
Yeah.
That's-
Oh.
I like that idea
Red,
too.
white, blue?
Sure. We'll see. I'll ask that very important question.
Yeah, not important, but it would be cool.
All right, and then you tell me, we've got, I put the 3 bids for the tower up here. Automatic gate and door, 39.30 each, and then they go up from there. So,
Well, I thought they were like $30,000 or something.
no, this is just for the tower with the arm,
Oh, good.
And
Yeah.
how many towers are per gate?
2, in and out.
So you-
Oh.
So we're only replacing the 2 that really need it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
So you're buying 4
only 2. We're only
incoming.
incoming.
Okay, all right.
And I was just gonna ask, what's the lifespan expectancy of the other 4?
With replacement parts, probably, I'm guessing 5-10 years. To guess.
But
they're not-
And Tommy's been. keeping
Right,
these
but
things
it's
together
the, it's the knocking down of the incoming gate that wore those towers out. So the exit doesn't get knocked down that often.
And the side gate doesn't. And
I'm sure it does, but not as often.
Now,
Not as often.
it's always the front and the back that get knocked down
Alright.
coming in. And those are the ones that are in bad shape. Yes.
Are those 3 towers the same, or is it different towers, different prices?
Oh, no, they were all the same.
They're all the same.
Yeah, the same lift master tower. It's just different bids. I think that the companies think you're a little captive because of lift master, so they just price it differently. Yeah, they don't know the other bids. And kind of a nice thing about that, the lowest bid is there is a family member of an owner of that company that happens to live here. So I don't know. That's not bad. He wants to be on St. Peter's Army because he knows a little bit more about the inner workings of the towers. That's not a bad thing.
And they're the lowest bid.
And they are the lowest
I'm not gonna go with the highest bid,
with a family member that's, yeah.
making sure that's on the.
Yep, yep. And then, Michael,
Mhm.
you're gonna just keep working on the camera system and the audio here, just keep.
Yeah, I rely a lot on the videotaping of the board meetings and stuff. And boy, if I don't get those, I really left in the dark.
Yeah, they're really nice.
So,
You're talking about videotaping the.
Like when the gentlemen,
The board meeting.
when they do have it live streaming and
when-
recorded, it's,
Prior to it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I contacted him and, he wants $500 to set it up and $500 a year to maintain it.
So he wants 500 for every meeting.
No.
just one-time setup, but then ongoing 500 a year. It's not too bad, but
Personally,
3 bids or no, because it's such a low amount.
if that were the case, but I personally, I'll let him finish first, but.
so,
Go ahead.
so,
Wait, and Mike, these would be live streamed?
yes.
Okay.
They're live streamed, they're self-contained, and I would recommend 3 cameras.
Mhm.
They're $1,000 for all 3 cameras. And you have a phone app and you can switch cameras. If the audience wants to come up and do something, well, you can switch to the audience camera. One camera's on the board.
Can I?
Go ahead, real quick.
I just have a question. So these are the things that we can't find on YouTube currently? Like, we can rarely be here when they have POA meetings.
Right.
And we.
They're on Facebook, not YouTube, right?
They're on YouTube.
Well,
they're-
I'm asking because we can't find them in.
I know.
Well, half the time it's not recorded. It's just a,
So this is what I'm trying to-
yeah. So every time you get a, live video of the meeting with real audio too, because the audio is terrible too.
It is.
So,
And it's the phone app, and you can do it for this committee meeting if you wanted to.
Sure.
But certainly for the board meeting.
so can we get, I'm going really high tech here. you know, but rather than having a stand, a tripod.
No, these will be
it
permanently.
would be permanently installed
Yes.
in the ceiling,
Yes.
pointed at the. Okay, I'm in.
No,
No, that we would
So
do,
we
this.
would do it.
The technology committee would install this and it's not that hard.
Control then of those cameras during a meeting that is gonna be live streamed and recorded.
Who's gonna be the director?
Somebody would have to download an app on their phone, connect to the cameras.
Right, I was who that somebody would be.
I would
Would
think.
it be somebody
Care
from the
committee.
technology?
Technology.
Would it be-
Someone,
When-
the committee, yeah, you saw me work Zoom.
I think if really you'd want all three on all the time, then select your.
That's what we would do. They would always be on. And then if you have your discussion time, it goes to you.
Three screens on your TV, basically.
Well, that would be interesting too.
Is that possible with that setup?
I think you would see all three cameras on one screen.
Right. Yes. And I think that would be.
Well, certainly the guy that's got the app and is controlling them can, but everybody individually.
Can you
could.
do, a scenario?
Mhm.
First of all, I want to clarify, you said $500 for him to set.
No, that's totally different. That's the existing guy that comes in with his,
Yeah.
Derek, yeah, Derek comes in. Yeah, we
Do it yourself.
This is both venturing off on our own.
but this is doing it ourselves and permanently affixing the cameras,
What?
3 cameras.
Okay, and one of you folks are doing what with those cameras?
Select, turning them on,
Okay,
selecting which one is in the live feed.
okay, and he's at home and he's watching it live.
Right.
And right now, I would be sitting here saying Linda's talking.
Yeah.
And then
And the cameras.
That's what I'm saying.
Laura's talking.
Now, I think only one, only one,
But these are things that we have to investigate. with
You know,
different
but
systems.
only
There
one,
might
one
be-
app at a time.
there might be-
Everybody can't have the app.
Yeah, it'll be one person.
Okay, so.
I've always wanted to be a director.
Wanting to go forward with the 3 cameras and somebody having that app to control it. You designate somebody,
Right.
one person, I don't care if it's the same person every time or a different person every meeting that's trained on how to do it. Where their only job during that meeting is to be the producer and say,
Correct,
Glenn, camera 1, camera 2,
correct.
camera 3.
Does it have audio too?
Yes. And I don't know if you want, we'd get directional mics if we have to get the audio quality.
Cause that's what needs to really improve too.
Yeah.
You would have to have direction. I mean,
You'd
each
have-
camera would have to have a.
And then to
Basically.
me,
They have built-in mics, but they also have jacks for, external mics.
yeah,
Oh,
I can watch a live feed, but I need this every meeting. I have to have something to
So
reference.
I
I
would
don't need everyone looking at their paper, not knowing what page we're on, what we're talking about.
I would have one camera on the screen, one camera on the board, and one camera on the.
That's a good idea.
By the way, by the way, yeah, I do like this. And, yeah, because a lot of times you have the board members in there looking at the minutes, or they have this and that, and that, and you don't have any idea what they're.
Yeah, I mean, especially like at the budget,
Yes.
the budget review, that needs to be.
And of course, when I come in, I grab the budget sheet and I grab, everything.
But then he's on page 4 and you're still flipping.
But I'm still flipping and I'm not really seeing.
But now we're talking about project.
And
Well,
Well, that's
we'll get a
true, too.
projector.
So that's next on.
In that
Hmm.
room, there's a projector in that room.
Oh,
Well,
cool.
That does not belong to the art club.
Oh. The art club stole the projector?
No, it's just,
It's being stored
it's
there.
just being stored in there.
The nice thing about
The space
newer
is-
projectors is that you can cast to them.
Yes.
You don't have to have a cable and run it in.
All right, I'm gonna look at that and see if it's suitable.
Fancier one. It's that one.
The store was.
Is much better than what's in there.
Right. It's, I haven't either.
Well, that
I
one.
didn't know that. Is that the art
That's
club?
Old one.
Whose is this projector?
This is Michael's.
So how much was this?
Right.
3
Cents rain tree, but not the art club. That's just a rain tree. I wanna to, can I grab that? Yeah, I would like to actually grab it and test it.
I was gonna take a picture of
We used that
it, look it
last
up,
night.
see what it is.
Had some issues getting it to.
Yeah, some of the old ones get hot and they turn off and,
It was a matter of getting the screen size down and.
yeah.
It looks pretty dated.
Yeah,
Yes.
when it's got the dial on the top,
Yes.
that's pretty dated.
Yeah,
It
was a dial.
was an upgrade.
Focus.
it's one of these 1985 models.
But
All right.
it's like, it just happens to be in. the rest of it.
Can I throw out another request or?
Sure.
In our meeting last night, we had a presentation up there. Everyone that was sitting on that side of the room couldn't see it. Can we flat screen there?
I was talking about this.
No, but still, even though they're.
Oh,
they're-
duplicate.
Yeah, can we, you know,
Duplicate.
like you're at a concert, you can see.
So instead of a projector, you have,
TV screen.
Yeah, well, that
you
would,
have it online.
well, that might be a great idea for the new projector. You could cast it to that one and that.
I think you can only cast one at a time, but I don't
We'll look at that.
quote me on that.
Yep.
Have a fair video feed or something.
Yeah, you split her.
Yeah, I'm just
And
throwing it
Then
as.
you record that instead of a projector.
Or
as
if-
a-
Because then you have a picture.
Oh, sorry.
if not, can we just take that screen and put it in that corner? You know, to where it.
Well, our solution was that we should have presented this way, because we can't
And then
release these.
everybody there and there can see that way versus.
Maybe both people.
Well.
They're moving furniture. They're moving furniture. I've been down this road so many times, dude.
This is my home camera.
Yeah.
So, you know, any one of those, I can pick the one I want to see.
Yeah, yeah.
Then I go back to the multi-view.
Yeah.
That's how these are.
So that way anybody can pick it later on when you're playing back.
And then I'd
And
like
do that
to, like,
focus
always
rather
have the
than
three
have somebody
cameras
in
and then
front
just,
of
if you want
Once
to
it's
see.
recorded, it's fixed.
Right, but
I mean, you can't change cameras
But
after the
if,
fact.
if the three cameras are doing this.
This is a live feed.
Right,
Yeah,
but,
Yeah, but I can
right,
play
but we
back.
record the meeting like this, and no one has to pick and choose during the meeting,
Yes, you,
but when, let's just say we don't, it
Okay.
just has the three feeds.
oh, I see.
And then if you're listening to the meeting and watching the recording of it, you just say, oh, I see that Linda's talking, I'm gonna zoom in on that,
Right.
that particular.
And you're the director
If the app
yourself.
So we'll see if that's
the app
possible.
does.
No doubt it is,
Okay,
because that's a fixed feedback.
okay.
Hey,
But I think once it's recorded,
I know, I agree.
I can change the cameras in real time. But once it's recorded, once it's streamed, I think it's fixed.
I do too.
So, Glenn, she's got a question back here.
I'm sorry.
I know how people can be. Yeah, are we opening up any legal problems if we have, I mean, I know if place you go to record. But because we're live streaming something, and if you have a camera on the audience and you're live streaming their pictures. Oh, I mean, I don't know, I don't have a clue.
No, but I agree, maybe you have to say, look, if you're gonna attend this meeting, you're gonna be live. streaming.
Honestly, I was at a concert once and they were,
all the way here already.
yeah.
Like YouTube.
They're being recorded. They're being recorded.
Yeah.
No, no.
So, I mean, I'm trying to, it's not to be.
And those live streaming channels are private. Right? To get on the POA's Facebook page, you have to submit an application to get part on the Facebook page.
On YouTube, you don't. When I go to.
No, it can be a private, no, you can have private channels on YouTube as well.
But right now,
Let me make sure.
I just go to YouTube and I search rain tree propagation POA and it brings up every meeting except for something in 24. It brings up 2021 and 23.
Yeah. Because,
It's public.
They're still being put.
I
so.
don't like it.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think we should have it.
Can,
Okay, that's another
So-
issue for it.
personally, I would like to go ahead and put the cameras up ourselves and have the security committee or the technology committee go ahead and do it rather than go with Prior and have him come in with his little
So,
tripod. and-
We'll need an electric outlet in the ceiling.
Yeah.
Did Tom do that? Tom? Yeah,
Yeah.
because we already got electricity running. up
You,
there.
you got electricity up there, you just up in that, so go on over.
They don't do, POE, power over ethernet,
It's not on Ethernet,
it's not even,
it's Wi-Fi.
no. Mine are power over ethernet, I just had it.
Mine too.
I just had it right.
I didn't want to take up my Wi-Fi back there in the 4G, world.
But I think that
So
we should go,
we will-
I think we should go with.
We're gonna
our
get some
own
bids. We're gonna get some
cameras
bids.
So
Prices on 3 cameras and better audio,
And better
directional
audio,
audio,
and have them mounted up here.
permanently.
And the technology committee will come up here along with Tom, wire it up and get it all going, figure out
Correct.
exactly where.
And then I also think that our recording should not ever be in the public domain. We should have it on something that's private. I mean, not even I guess the minutes are always, you can always go to
What do you mean
Raintree.
public domain?
Like YouTube. I don't want our live
Should be on YouTube, huh?
Well, you can have a private
channel on YouTube.
POA YouTube channel that only.
That people would have to sign up to
Yeah,
get it.
But it also goes, I mean, I'm thinking about the Raintree POA website has all the
Okay.
the
Well,
recordings and the minutes, so I don't know if we can do that.
But I say, well, I'm out of my lane.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
Bringing up about the audience, you could just not have a camera on the audience, as long as we can hear them.
But the signups is this thing is being live streamed.
Yeah.
Their way, they know
Do
that.
you agree? If not, you can sit right back there on the side.
Maybe in the corner of the camera.
Right.
Board meeting or a committee meeting or a town, you just make an announcement that this is going to be live streamed and recorded. If you don't agree, now's your time to leave.
I think that's probably,
Oh, they
I
might.
mean, there's a way.
I agree.
Questions.
We just have to ask. You know, that's good.
But they would.
But we did,
We have a camera on the audience.
We're a Halloween man.
Yeah.
I
or that-
just don't know who it is.
Right, it's really hard to follow for me.
we did go to a concert the one time and they said that they were recording it for a CD. And they said, so if you're here with your mistress, we are selling you a bag. And they bag up, with blue eyes, and the guy put it on top of his head, to do the, we are selling these, so if you are here, having an affair, here's your chance, so nobody took it.
And it's probably no different than our surveillance cameras. It's
Exactly.
just not.
Exactly.
And so moving on, I'm sorry.
In all cases, the worst time to find out that you have a liability is when you get the notice for the summons, right? That really is.
Well, we do have a lawyer on,
And if
We
you're-
do, and we'll ask our legal
And the
team
security
questions.
cameras don't apply enough. Because you're entering private property. But here, this is a public forum.
this is private.
Well,
It's still
you,
private.
you're gonna lose that argument in a court.
It's still.
Well,
Anybody can come in, anybody can come in, and so the whole issue is protect yourself more than you have to. That's
Agreed.
all.
And
That's all she's saying.
we'll do that with
I hate that we even have to talk about. that.
I know, but we will. We'll cover our bases.
Yeah.
So a consensus to go ahead and get 3 cameras and some mics and set it up?
I believe that would be a better way to go because I know Derek's, he doesn't show up every time.
No, that's right.
We
That's
haven't
exactly
showed
right.
up for months.
We're paying him to film these things?
No, we weren't.
No, we weren't.
That part was good, but the quality is.
In the long run, it's gonna be cheap.
He has a company that does this for professionally, and he gave us some freebies
Yeah.
for a while, but now he wants.
Now he wants to be-
This will be consistent. This will
It'll
be
be-
high quality.
I think we should just go ahead and bite the bullet.
Me too.
Get it
Yeah.
And cheaper in the long run.
and get, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay, But we need- that's gonna be on the list.
Projector?
I have no idea what it takes.
Yeah, we're gonna figure out what it takes.
Okay.
Yes, it's on the list.
All right.
But we just need to get some bids.
Don't project it, do a screen to the screen instead, hardwired to the screen, don't project it.
Can you be part of this research committee?
Yeah, I thought you were on this.
Yeah.
Oh. You gotta take the heat and get up.
Give up here.
So next one, we're gonna do all this. We gotta get some bids, just some
Okay,
pricing
sure,
on different
sure.
options.
All right.
So you got that still.
Okay.
And then this was one that came up this week, the office data backup. Right now, all the data, property owners, vendor information, QuickBooks data, it's kind of antiquated backup on an external hard drive in the office. Kind of a not even server grade stuff. We shouldn't do that. We should look into backing all the data up to the cloud where it's secure and forever. And if something happened here with that external hard drive and in the internal network, that would just be lost. That's a terrible solution. So
That's what Linsky had suggested that a couple of years ago. And it's just followed plan for some reason.
okay,
They're gonna put it by.
yeah. So John Reckel, I think, is going to look into that.
Okay.
Okay,
Grant?
Is it truly just for backup storage? Like,
just backup storage.
Not to, access it?
No, just backup.
We currently use, what do we use, backups?
Backplane.
Backups.
Yep. What's it called?
Backplane,
Okay,
$1,600 a year, whatever. I think he puts it up there.
automatic.
We've
Right.
never had
You
to-
put it on the computer.
yep, that's the kind of thing. Okay, you and John Reckel will look into that.
There you go.
If you'd like to. Okay. And then this one's just a no-brainer. They're not that expensive. UPS battery backups, they failed.
The UPS.
Yeah,
Backup,
you
okay.
you know what that is, right? The uninterruptible power supply, when there's an outage and you can still operate and shut down your computers while you have 20 minutes to do things and you shut down safely, but they both failed, so that's just.
Do the gates have backup?
Good question. Power
I
back.
thought that if the gates lost power, they just automatically open and stay.
That I don't know
I
that.
think you're right.
That's the way that I understood it, was that if we lost power, the gates just
Yeah.
automatically just
Yeah, I
open up
think
and
you're right.
that's
I
it.
think they default open.
Okay, But-
I want had to go out there with a long pole and hold it up.
right.
Yeah.
And then
Lightning rod.
internet service. We just need to understand what we have, what the contract is. What we're trying to do in the technology committee is just get an inventory of everything we have. You know, a real inventory, a real list of contracts, and have some oversight on it. So, and also just make sure it's not auto renewable, so we can look at options when we need to and get better service.
But if you're uploading everything to the cloud all the time, we need better internet. We tried to do a speed test last meeting and couldn't even connect to the speed test to see how fast the internet
Well,
was.
that's not good. Right. And then I don't know anything about this Bayes ET networks, but I would ask if anyone here does. You know, this is so Raintree into an agreement with Bayes ET Network for the network solution, the underground fiber that provides high-speed network from the POA to the guard shack into the front gate.
Yes.
That's a good thing.
Right.
It's a fantastic thing.
And then they ran
then-
wire, I thought, all the way down.
Short range line of sight wireless network to the back gates. They have it on I think they got access to that water tower.
They have a little.
Yeah, the water tower. All that's good. We just need to know what we're in, you know, what
They did
what is the
run,
contract?
we didn't run coaxial, the fiber optics
Yeah,
all the way down.
down the road.
To the two gates. Oh, I thought we did.
No,
Okay,
so we just want to understand more about that arrangement,
okay.
because apparently the strip shops have some kind of access to that too.
The
The strip mall next to us here,
Oh, yeah.
they also have access to some of the same network. I don't know. I don't know what's happening there. So agreed that we should look at that and just see where we're at with it. And that's it.
So, but there is no fiber. I went to AT&T and put the address in, no fiber. So I think wireless, 5G, is probably the way to go.
Thumbs up.
What internet do we have now? What's coming in? Do we have a landline coming in? Are we cell service? Are we?
That's that number 6. Got to go look at it and just assess what we have and what's better.
So
Yes.
maybe we can have a tour next meeting.
Yeah, well, John needs to get us an inventory list.
Oh.
What it is, they,
The, you know, all the providers, Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, they all have wireless, you know, 5G networks where they grab the signal 5G and then they make and they can give you internet service.
I mean, that's what I
You
had.
don't have to, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, would that be?
no, that might be a really great
Would
solution.
that be adequate for what you're talking about? I'm asking a question because I'm not the right person to know the answer. This cloud, which if you don't have backup on your data, you're shooting yourself in the foot at some point.
When we have it, it's just local. It's just.
I get about 15 to 100 megabits. On
On your 5G.
AT&T 5G internet. And I've never, we watch
Right.
script movies and stuff all the time. Don't
My
even,
area drops.
No, but the to-do is just to assess what we have.
Okay.
What's a better option and if we're in any long-term contract.
so
I'm taking.
do we have a contract that manages all the office technology? Is that what
Well,
you're talking
that's CCI Network,
about? Oh,
which, that's John.
I see.
Okay,
Okay.
any questions? Get ready for some LEDs.
You're going, once you figure one more time.
How fast did you get there?
Have it on the way home. Well, I do have an offer for just to try one, actually. So we might do that.
Oh,
Okay, me too.
Let's-
We'll,
let me know when it gets
Say-
installed. I wouldn't
you
be
know,
the first.
I don't
one to
know.
drive
We
through.
gotta get Al on St. Peter's Army. We call our gate fixing group St. Peter's Army, a little text group, like manning the gate. And, yeah, we'll get that little LED light and replace one of those as soon as we can.
We think we'll put it up. I'll drive through it.
Mhm.
Then we'll see how it goes.
Oh, sure,
Okay?
sure. All right.
All right, cool.
Thank you. And there it is. You want to see it going, don't you?
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
you want to see it going. Oh, bad internet. I can't stream.
You're gonna get a bunch of attaboys once you get that thing.
Well, at least you can see it.
No, absolutely.
Wow, we wanted that gate, right? At one time.
Well, we had those a long time ago.
Did they crash through those two? No,
That's why you don't crash through.
Took half an hour to open it, half hour to close it.
For, a comment, maybe a review, a little bit of history. I've heard you say numerous times, what's the problem we're solving for or whatever, and you said, keep asking that, we keep coming to this. Maybe it's this, maybe it's this, well, maybe it's not, right?
Right.
Think that tonight.
Right.
My thought is that when all that vandalism was happening between the porta potty at the lake and the mailbox things and whatever, it was around the same time they put out a survey that says, what are the top priorities here? You know, and I think security came up pretty high, like spot number 2, roads was number 1, because all that was currently happening. It's like, oh my gosh, we gotta secure this place, because look at all this bad stuff that's happening. And then as more things got investigated, it's like, it's internal. You know, it's-
Agreed,
But I
agreed.
think the idea of, well, that was everyone's second thing, we better lock this place down, is the mindset.
I would agree that it was a mindset too and maybe an overreaction at the
Very-
time as a.
Very good point.
you
Yeah.
know, okay, let's take it to the police, and the police are going, you know, we got bigger fish to fry, we can't help you here, you're all gonna, sorry, best we can do is,
Censure.
well,
Or make more rounds, but that's what we need to.
Once that drops somewhere down the line, that was months ago, we were asked, what do you think about that? We all said, yeah.
And I, from what I understood, and that was agreed to and they're making more rounds. I just want to confirm it. How many rounds are they making?
Right, and so that's, I just, what I think kind of why it escalated, why it was get on it, and it's like, but yeah, will it really solve our thing? No. For the money? No, you know, that's my.
Right, but we have to have the gates working, so that's good money spent.
Here's my 2 cents. This is Glenn's first year really working security and being on the board and everything anyway. But May's coming. and May, Memorial Day,
Yeah.
June, July,
Summer.
August. The summer months are the months that, those are the problem months. Because, well, then that's when the beach gets overrun.
Right.
And that's where, for me, that's where the gates came into play. You know, can we do something on the gates right now to keep that May, June, July, and August from happening? And I just think that we've got a system here that, I mean, do we really, is the license plate reader gonna stop that? Is the RF reader gonna stop that? Is this, I just don't see this, see anything helping, except for barbed wire.
Right.
When we.
The major weekends, we get our, family access
Yeah,
code, and you can always do the guest kiosk. So, yes, it's not necessary to lock down.
It's April, May is coming. Are you security part of beach security too, or is that Lakes and Beaches?
Is that Lakes and
I would,
Beaches
I
or
would
is it-
say it's lakes and beaches. But I have security has a camera down there,
So
and then rules has oversight of problems that occur.
still up to them to go, how did it last year? Because they were booting, right, and towing, right, booting and towing.
And that's more rules.
yes. So it's really convoluted, where you just don't know who's in charge of what, as far as beach security goes.
Yeah.
Who's in charge of booting those cars? Is it Lakes and Beaches, is it rules, or is it security? What is it?
You're new, Kemp's new.
Each-
So now we. We're
Right.
these things, summer's coming.
Yeah. Oh, summer's right, it's
Great
here.
question. That's a
So-
great thing to bring up next Monday.
And
I will bring it up.
You attend as many meetings, well, you attend more than I do. And even over the years, I still can't answer that question. Who's in charge of booting? Is it Lakes and Beaches? Yeah, that was Lakes and Beaches.
Under your reign.
Well, it was, we worked very closely together. Chris Waller was head of security, but my Lakes and Beaches, his security and Getty's rules, we all were in constant communication with one another. So it wasn't anybody's responsibility in particular, but if there was an issue, generally at least two of the three of us checked it out and worked the issue out. So, yeah, there was no official whose it is. It's just, we happen to have a group of people. at
Well,
time
that brings up a great point, like this access through Highway B to Forest Drive, or, the Forest,
Right.
is that ACC? Is that rules? Is that security? It's the same question.
Well, and Danny, I mean, you've been around forever,
Help, Danny, help.
With the Lakes and Beaches, I mean, with the booting of the cars, your input on it, is it Lakes and Beaches responsibility? Is it security? Is it rules? Who does that primarily fall
I
down?
have to join the club that you're. Because I've never known.
Oh,
So some,
there you go. And I've been around as long as you.
Well, we're gonna get an answer on Monday. I think it's just a great agenda item to
as a
see
member.
who takes charge.
It should be committee first then. If there's gonna be a censure issue, it's the rules committee
Yeah.
that does that, that is supposed to determine. And it's the committee who's supposed to determine if there's a violation or not just the rules committee chairperson. It's supposed to be the committee, but anyways, it's different.
Well, let's just put it this way.
Because all of the covenants and all of that stuff falls within the rules, aside from ACC.
So I'm down there at the beach and I see somebody that's parked there that doesn't have a sticker or anything like that. Who do I call? Do I call Desiree? Do I call Glenn? Or do I call?
Yeah,
Oh,
you go ahead.
From what I understand, and I've been told, I don't know if this is correct, but there is a paid person that is the beach patrol person, that they're down on the beach and they are getting paid
Yes.
And they're being paid by security.
No, they're out of security. Yeah.
I don't know who pays them, but there's,
Never been
Well, no,
security
but
budget.
they're being, because I thought I thought when we paid for security, like when we paid for the guard to stand
That
out
was,
there
I'm sure that was
by
security.
the boat ramp, and when we had paid for the little guy that did the little tower thing, you know, always the lifeguard shack thing, you know? I thought those people were paid by security. And if those people were paid by security, well, then it falls down to security. I would think, you know, that I would be calling, well, think that I'd be calling you. What's that? Oh, yeah. It's the person I'm calling. Wait, all those in favor?
something got said about when cars are booted, that the boot company gets the money.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely.
Hiring that person.
Yeah.
He's asking what budget comes. Does it come out of Lakes and Beaches?
No, I want to know who to call. You know, when something like that, you know, if I'm down there at the beach, which I'm. But if I was down at the beach and there's no security person there, and I see somebody that pulls up and they don't have a hang tag or something.
You would fill out whatever.
Incident report.
Incident report. Take a picture, do your justification, just like if you see.
Yeah, but that's not gonna get it booted all out there.
Well, that's not gonna happen unless we have security.
I would agree with that.
There may be days when you don't have some.
Well, okay, well, let's put it this way. Let me put it this, maybe it was last year or maybe the year before, I don't know, because I'm old. But, you know, John Willett, he says, hey, look at this boot that I got. And I'm gonna be going and putting this on somebody's car later on this year, you know, and, you know, and he was saying, you know, he's not gonna be doing it, but he had this nice boot that apparently do we own these boots that we? Okay, so we borrow these, or we get these things from the towing company.
No, they got somebody sitting down there.
They put it on.
They got somebody sitting down there.
They don't.
Braintree doesn't put it on, don't.
It's on. Yeah,
But it's the security guard that goes in, reports it to
Right.
the towing company.
Right.
right.
And then they come out, they put it on, and then once it's on there, well, then the tow truck comes out and then they go away. See, I don't know how.
Sure sounds like security.
Sure does.
It does.
My understanding, what happened last year, I have no idea of the years before, is that they did finally connect with someone who was willing to go sit down there to get that boot on there because they were catching them. You know, hey, boot that, boot that. So we didn't pay to sit down there. He said, out the tier and earn the money. So that's why we didn't get a portion of it.
Well, Linda, see, you know, I know you go down to the beach. I don't. So that's why this is
Right.
new territory to me. I have nothing to do with this.
Pretty sure that was last year. I have no idea the year before. I have no idea the upcoming year what they plan to
What they
do.
were doing was boot caught the vehicle,
Mhm.
okay? And to get the boot off, they had to pay $250 cash.
But who was booting it?
The tow company.
Yeah,
That's what they
and the process went, and somebody said, come out here and boot this car, and then they drove out here, booted that car, and
And you
then,
say the tow company was sitting down there because they were gonna make money?
oh, the tow company's gonna make money.
No, but that's who was deciding to boot it.
For the guys like your company every time, or I might miss it.
I'll just say that.
I'll just come down here and sit
Yeah.
here.
Because it's worth him to just go ahead and just sit down there, and he can't add 20 boots and put them on there, and haul them one away at a time. They don't even haul them away. So they don't even haul them away anymore.
So just get the money to take the boot. Well, this is all news to me. I didn't know that booting occurred.
So bring $250 to the lake, to the lake.
Yeah.
In your
No,
romantic seat.
and yeah, and then, no, so, well, this is why I said, you're new to security and you're new to this, you know,
Yeah.
so, you know, and summer's coming. And this is.
I don't know if I'm learning quite fast enough.
Yeah.
Glenn, we're gonna give you a test next month.
You know,
All right, well.
wait a second, and it ain't multiple choice. Essay. Essay questions. God, I hated those. God, true and false, give me true and false, you know? I got a chance.
Sure.
You know, before we had all these cards, okay, you know, we used to have the family code. You guys.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I remember.
People were doing their family code. You
Yeah.
got Family code and it lasts for years.
Yeah.
Right, and then if friends gave their,
Okay, so somebody came up with an idea, we didn't do it. But the idea was, what we could do is you have your card. You know, we each have 2 cards, that's it. Then, if you want to let a guest in, you can call this number and you can get a code. You can get your own code, okay? Now, the office or, you know, whoever would have control over how long that code is good. If they want to say it's good for 3 days, fine. Maybe they say it's only good for 1 day. And now you have that you know, you like say your daughter's coming, you go, well, the code for today is blah, blah, blah. And she can come in. It would be the cards would be.
I would love that because the code works better than the guest kiosk.
Oh,
But if it could be a one-time code, that'd be fantastic.
I have no idea.
Well,
If we could automate that somehow to get the code.
That is like that app you were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was-
Yeah, well, I used it several times.
What do we do, which I think it was at last year, option that we now have this, is you can buy a party code for 1
Right,
day.
right.
For 20,
But the girls have a program,
well, for,
Yes.
but it was a party code.
but this wouldn't be the girls' program.
Right.
But my point being, I think it's in place already where it's being, you know, taken care of by the office. When
Right.
you give them money to get that code.
And they are their.
Right, so they are selling party codes because I see them on the monthly, so, yeah.
But what, the reason I mentioned that is might get rid of this idea with these cards.
Right,
And they lose them and give them up.
No, I love that suggestion actually, because yeah, it makes sense versus the cards.
Because the property owners always have control over who gets in.
But you're suggesting an automated system where the office doesn't have to issue. I agree.
And the tracking, I think you'd be able to track who has.
Boy, that would be
Sure.
nice.
It'd be fantastic for a vendor coming in, one-time use.
That would be really nice, you
Yeah,
know,
but-
and, you know, it would be just a one day thing.
You could do one day.
I
one time.
know myself, I had a koi club meeting out here. And, I had to let 30 people in, you know, they were coming in at different times. And I came up here and to get a code for the gate, the main gate here, you know. I rented a campground. So if you rent a campground, you rent a campground for $25, you get a code to come in and out as many times as you want. So I rented one campground for the weekend, and I got a code for my guests to get in.
Yeah, but-
So that is work. Well, no, I don't know about the party code, you know, so okay, so they administered the same type of deal thing, because I did this like 3 years ago, I guess. Yeah,
Instead of pretending like you're camping, you just say, I need a party code.
okay. So you can still get those anytime that you gotta come up here and
Back down.
$25 to get this
Yeah, right.
for a one day pass.
Be the duration,
It's 1 day.
it could be the weekend,
Maybe not.
it may have.
I don't know.
Yeah, it might be a weekend. Okay, I did not know this. Okay, but what you're saying is that we should be able to do that just on our phone without bothering them and then get it for free.
That's why I think it's a great idea. I think it's a great idea.
But can we, you know, but.
I
You
would
know,
suggest
we would
it's
be
a
able to do
one-time
it
code all the
anytime.
time if you're doing it off the phone, without calling the office. You're not requesting your own party code. That's
How long do you need a code?
Good.
Now, they-
right. But
Like, you can't have a code for all phones,
Mhm.
you know, maybe you can have the code for 1 day or.
Or a weekend.
Yeah.
And then you tell it, and then it says, okay, your code is And that's gonna work.
Until it comes out of the system.
I did not know that there was even a party code that was available now. Okay, yeah.
But for camping and taking a site, one of the conversations was, that's wrong, because you're taking up a camping site and other people are trying to camp, and now they can't because they're saying, sorry, there's no availability.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, there's nobody down there because everybody took a bar for their thing.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why party code is partly.
Which makes
Perfect.
perfect sense. That does make perfect sense.
Yeah. We're ending this meeting.
There you go.
Recording is over.
Wait a second, I make a motion that we adjourn.
I second.
Well, there you go, brother.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.